up to his full height and faced her. She smiled. There was no warmth in it. She reached into her deep pockets and pulled out what appeared to be juggling balls. She tossed one up into the air.
"I know you, Targan Fay," the wolfen spat. "I thought I had already killed you once. I won't make the same mistake this time, believe me."
His words sounded as though stones grated and ground against each other in his stomach to form them.
"Face me, and die a second time."
The wolfen pack gathered around him. They were unarmed because of Grimm's Concord. Fey weapons, blessed, enchanted, or in other ways tainted by the kingdoms of the moon, couldn't pass through the gates. It was impossible. That was why Red Heart Jacks had sent the wolfen, of course. They didn't need weapons to deal with a girl. They were weapons. They had teeth and claws, and those claws dragged across the black top of the road, leaving deep gouges in it. It was not difficult to imagine what they could do to skin and bone. The wolfen panted, their tongues lolled from their mouths, tasting the air, the life on it, and the inevitable undercurrent of death and decay that stole along with the breeze. They waited for Blackwater Blaze to give the command.
"She's here, isn't she, juggler?"
Blaze growled.
"I can smell her."
She, the traitor's heir. They could call her whatever they wanted, but that did not change the fact that she was the blood of the traitor, and for that alone she must die. She was close, like the woman in front of him. She was different. She didn't belong. It was as simple as that. The traitor's heir, and the heir, smelled of wrongness.
"You can't save her from me, juggler."
Blackwater Blaze tossed his head back and bayed, his howls rising and rising until they drowned out the police sirens and the music spilling out of the pubs and every other sound of the city for just long enough for the war cry to reach their quarry's ears. He wanted her to know that he was coming for her. He wanted her to know fear. He had her scent. He would not lose her now. There were half a dozen places ringing the city where moongates could be found: Aldgate, Bishopsgate, Cripplegate, Newgate, Moorgate, and Ludgate. These were the old Roman gates of the city wall, but they dated far back beyond the times of the invasion, back further than the memories of mankind went. Each of them opened onto a different aspect of the kingdoms of the moon, be it the woodlands where Wolfen ran, the high stone fortresses of the Kith and their brood of ashen-skinned blood-drinkers who shied away from all things Sunside, or the deep caves of the Daemon Dim, where the lava spat and bubbled and gave birth to creatures no sane man would ever want to see, or the mountain ranges of the Corobray, the crowmen who circled high above, cawing and watching and cawing, or the quagmires where the mudmen writhed in the primordial ooze. The gates brought them all together. And now, tonight, the gates were open. Blackwater Blaze walked slowly toward the juggler. The neon lights of theatres and the two bright lights of kebab shops and greasy spoons opening up for the night crowd lit the street. The juggler stared at him, just watching. She made no move to fight. She tossed a second ball into the air and kept them moving. A third joined it. Blaze sniffed the air again. The girl's elusive scent ghosted away on the currents of the night. The city proper, the centre where the tourists flocked, was alive, teeming with bodies, and so full of stinks. He lost her. He never lost anyone. Rage surged within Blackwater Blaze. He sank his claws deep into the tarmac of the road, churning it up like loose earth. And then it dawned on him. This had been the juggler's plan from the beginning. To draw him into the wretched press of humanity and hide her from him beneath so many more pungent odours. And to do it, the juggler had simply laid down a false spoor for him to follow. She had never been there. Blackwater Blaze had been fooled. The ridge of fur along Blaze's spine bristled. He was an elite warrior, an unparalleled hunter. It was a death sentence for Blackwater Blaze to have your scent. And he had been fooled into chasing a dead woman down the street and away from his prey.
"I'll kill you for this,"
Blaze spat. He surged toward her, every powerful muscle in his body driving him forward. His huge stride ate the distance between them, bringing Targan Fay closer and closer by the heartbeat. The juggler wore the garish colours of a jester's motley beneath her long leather greatcoat. She tossed